Assalamu alaikum. My name is Rimsha Timotheus and I am from BS Biotechnology Department. Today, my topic is fascinating and fun chemistry experiments. Today, I will tell you some fascinating chemistry experiments and some information and interesting physical properties of some metals and materials and some magic tricks. First of all, I will tell you some cool experiments of chemistry. When it comes to make the science cool, the chemistry can be considered as the king because there are many interesting and fun projects to try. And these awesome chemistry experiments can make anyone to enjoy the science. Even if a person do not like chemistry or science, but he or she can enjoy by doing this experiment. First of all, the first experiment which I will going to tell you is the copper and the nitric acid. For this experiment, you have to put a piece of copper in the nitric acid and then the solution changes into the blue color. Now, what is the chemistry behind it? When you place the copper piece into the nitric acid, the copper ion and the nitrate ion coordinate with each other to change the color of the solution into green and then to the brownish green color. And if you dilute the solution, then the water displaces the nitrate ions around the copper ions, and then the solution changes to blue color. In this picture, we can see that the solution has changes its color to blue. Next, hydrogen peroxide with the potassium iodide. It is also known as the elephant toothpaste. The chemical reaction between the peroxide and the potassium iodide shoots out a column of foam. By reacting hydrogen peroxide and potassium iodide, we can shoot out a column of fume, which we can say, to which we can name as an elephant toothpaste. And if we added the food coloring into it, we can customize the toothpaste for the holiday colored themes. Next, Thermite reaction. The Thermite reaction basically shows if the iron rusted instantly rather than over time, then what will happen? In other words, it's making metal bonds. If the conditions are right, just about any metal will burn. However, this reaction is usually performed by reacting the iron oxide with the aluminium. Here you can see that the reaction between the iron oxide and the aluminium and the heat and light is produced. If you want a truly stunning display, try placing the mixture inside a block of dry ice and then lighting the mixture. Anyone can try this experiment. Next, coloring fire. When we heated metals, the ions in it are heated and then their electrons become excited. After excitation, they drop to a lower energy state and they emit a photons. The energy of these photons are the characteristic of the chemical and corresponds to a flame, a specific flame color. And this experiment is the basis for the flame test in analytical chemistry. Plus, it is also a fun to experiment with different chemicals to see what colors they produce in a fire. It is very interesting to see coloring fires. Make polymer bouncy balls. Who does not enjoy playing with the bouncy balls? The chemical reactions that are used to make the balls makes a terrific experiment because you can alter the properties of these balls by changing the ratio of the ingredients used in their production. If you change the ratio of the ingredients, you can alter their physical property or any property can be changed just by changing the ratio of their ingredients which were used in their production. Make a Lichtenberg figure. It is also known as an electrical tree, and it is the record of the path that the electrons taken during an electrostatic discharge. It is basically frozen lightning. There are several ways by using which or by following which we can make an electrical tree. Here you can see an electrical tree in this picture. Next, experiment with the hot ice. Hot ice is the name that is given to the sodium acetate. And the sodium acetate is a is a chemical you can make by reacting the vinegar and the baking soda. By reacting vinegar and baking soda, we can make sodium acetate, and sodium acetate is a chemical. A solution of sodium acetate is then supercooled so that it will crystallize on command. When the sodium acetate solution is supercooled and it is transformed into crystal, then the heat is evolved during its crystallization formation. Although it resembles with the water ice, but it's hot. The water ice is cool, but this crystal of sodium acetate resembles with the water ice in his appearance, but it is hot and the water ice is cold, as we have known. Barking dog experiment. Barking dog experiment is the name that is given to the chemiluminescent reaction between the exothermic reaction. It is an exothermic reaction between the nitrous oxide or nitrogen monoxide and the carbon disulfide. The reaction proceeds down a tube by emitting a blue light and a characteristic woof sound. Another version of the demonstration involves coating the inside of a clear jug with alcohol and igniting the vapor. The flame front proceeds down the bottle, which also burns. Here we have reacted the nitrous oxide or the nitrogen monoxide with the carbon disulfide, and the reaction proceeds down the tube and emitting a light blue color, and then giving a woof sound when it moves down the tube. Next one is the dehydration of the sugar. We can dehydrate any sugar by reacting it with the sulfuric acid. When you react sugar with the sulfuric acid, the sugar is violently dehydrated and the result is a growing column of the carbon black. We can see that carbon black is growing and the heat is produced and the overwhelming odor of the burnt caramel can be sensed. Next, some fascinating metals which have very unique properties. 5 metals with very strange physical properties. On the Austin-Knapman blog, we have naturally covered everything steel and all things aluminium, along with the quick sidetrack into some of the amazing properties of other metals. However, today we are gearing up to go to some bizarre places when it comes to metals, particularly ones we do not encounter in our day-to-day lives, from their value to how they react when they put under certain conditions. There are our choice of 5 metals with some strange physical properties. First one is Rhodium. It is more valuable than any other precious metal. Silvery white, hard, and part of the platinum group, Rhodium sits as one of the rarest naturally occurring metals on the earth, second only to osmium. Because of its exceptionally sought after, with its market value fluctuating to some astonishing heights, selling for about $925 an ounce during the year 2013. This, coupled with its fairly shining appearance, gives it a reliable use in jewelry, often acting as an electroplated coat to the white gold, which is known as rhodium flashing, or protecting the sterling silver against the tarnish. It is also used in catalytic converters, with its flashiness Unfortunately, with its flashiness, it's made the cards bearing them a top target for the thieves. Because it is very valuable, it is more valuable than any other precious metal. We can say that it is more valuable than any jewelry gold. Means to say that it can also act as electroplated gold to the white gold. So it means that it is more valuable. It is the rarest naturally occurring metal on the earth. These properties make it unique. Next one is gallium, and it beats like a living heart, but it does not occur in the free form in nature, and a mainstay semiconductor in a wide variety of electronics, including mobile phones, computer chips, and Blu-rays. Gallium's melting point is a strange source of appealing. You can shatter it like glass, cause it to melt by holding it in your hand long enough. But more bizarre is what happens when it reacts with the other metals. Number 3 is mercury. It turns to liquid at the room temperature. As mentioned in the previous blogs of mercury is the one and only metal that becomes a liquid at room temperature. I repeat, mercury is the one and only metal that becomes liquid at the room temperature. We all are aware of its harm to the human body, as well as its use in thermometers. Mercury is used in thermometers, but is very, very, very harmful for the human body. Sorry. It is used in thermometers, barometers, and fluorescent lighting, but its reaction at 23 degrees Celsius or 73.5 degrees Fahrenheit or 296 degrees Kelvin has had a profound effect on our medical and metal industries. Fourth one is beryllium. It is invisible to X-ray, occurring naturally, and it is a naturally occurring metal only in combination with other elements, traces in minerals, and making frequent appearance in missiles, spacecraft, and satellites, along with gemstones. The greatest talent of barium is its low density and atomic mass. These make it relatively transparent when observing X-rays. This has given it a most profound use in radiation windows and a valued place in particle physics because it is being used in all 4 detectors experiments in the Large Hadron Collider. Fifth one is ruthenium, the metal that can burn forever. Ruthenium is an exceedingly rare metal of the earth and has seen much promise for its uses in both oil refining and low-cost solar panels, not to mention in microchip use and for organic and pharmaceutical chemistry. But a recent piece of research unveiled that it may even have a part to play in unraveling history. Yantras, a geographical phenomena in Turkey, features numerous fires that have been alight for millennia. It is believed they are what inspired the fire-breathing chimera in Homer's the Iliad. But the source of their methane fuel source has always been a mystery until now. Though it's still new research, Goisub Atop of the National Institute of Geophysics and the volcanology believes that ruthenium, which is found in igneous rocks beneath the site, may allow the methane to reach its legendary flame, creating the temperature. Here we can see that it is the ruthenium. Next are some magic tricks of the science, which were very, very, very common, and we can do that. We can perform it by our daily household materials that anyone can try it easily, even at it forms. You can use science to perform magic tricks and enhance any magic show. These tricks are great for use as science projects or just for fun. The tricks also works as memorable science demonstration. The tricks can also help us to memorize the chemistry reactions and science demonstrations because it will become interesting and then one can remember it or memorize it very quickly and nicely. Toothpick, toothpick turtle. To perform this experiment, you have to dab a little shampoo on the blunt end of a wooden toothpick. Drop the toothpick in a pan of water. The toothpick will start moving in the direction of the sharp end. Now, how does it work? The chemistry behind this experiment is shampoo contains agents that reduce the surface tension of the liquids. As the shampoo on the end of the toothpick dissolves, it reduces the water surface tension around it and thus releasing the water's hold on that end of the toothpick. The water around the other end of the toothpick still have the surface tension, so it pulls the toothpick in that direction. That's why the toothpick will start moving in the direction of the sharp end. Next one is a flying trash bag. Hold the mouth of a black trash bag in one hand. Use a hair dryer to blow hot air into the bag. Now seal the mouth of the bag with the tape. Tie a long piece of string around the tape so you can hold it. Take the bag out into the sun. The bag will rise slowly into the air. It's best to do this trick in an open area on a windless day. How does it work? Since the bag is black, it absorbs heat from the sun. That heat makes the air inside the bag expand and become lighter. When the bag and the air inside are lighter than the surroundings air, the bag starts to rise. And even a child can perform this experiment and memorize the science behind it, and it can memorize it very quickly and I think very nicely. Next one is keeping water separate. Fill 2 identical glasses with the water. Add 2 tablespoons of salt to the water in one glass and stir well. Add a few drops of food coloring to the water in the other glass. Cover the glass containing the colored water with a sheet of paper. Turn it upside down and place it on the top of the glass containing salt water. Be sure to do this trick over a saucer or bowl. Now gently pull the paper out from between the glasses. The colored water and the salt water will remain separate. Now, how does it work? The salt water is heavier than the colored water. So the two stay separate as long as the boundary between them is not disturbed. Try turning the glass over though. The heavier salt will now be on the top, so it will flow down and mix with the colored water. Next one is the burning money trick. Set money on fire and watch it burn out without damaging the bill. This is a nice trick that is based on the everyday chemistry that makes a good introduction for a discussion about the combustion. If you repeat the trick with paper instead of currency, the paper will be burned. Now, the smoking fingers trick. For this science trick, all you do is to rub your fingers together, then will glow in the dark and will start to smoke. The smoke which is produced is from the vaporization of the phosphorus. Although dim, the vapors also glow in the dark. You have to do this experiment in a dark room so that you can see the smoke that is producing by rubbing your finger.